Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today is going to be something a little bit different because I am going to be doing this, not really a guide, but I will give you guys some general tips and tricks to help you guys beat your first soul crushing in Eternal Towers of Hell. But first of all, what is a soul crushing tower? The game has 11 difficulties, as you can see, ranging from easy all the way up to catastrophic. The dark blue line right here is insane, which is the start of the soul crushing difficulties. These difficulties require crazy amounts of patience, endurance, and many other skills. So for this video, today we are doing the insane difficulty, but I plan to make a catastrophic tips and tricks video in the near future. I likely won't do terrifying or extreme for a little while. I don't even know if I'll actually do those ones, to be honest, but we'll kind of have to see. So this video is going to be split into 3 categories. Category 1 is going to be just the general tips or any useful information to help you guys beat your first soul crushing. The second category will be what to do before your first soul crushing tower. And the last category, I will talk about the common choices for a first soul crushing tower. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So category 1, the general tips, and these first few tips kind of fall under the motivation category, but taking breaks. You've probably heard this a lot, and I know it can get annoying, but it's really important because trying to play the same tower after like a huge crash out or like mental breakdown or something crazy just won't work. So just take a break and come back to it later, or you don't have to come back to it. Just, I would recommend, if you have good progress, you should always try and redo it so you can beat it, and because that's what you're trying to do anyways, right? The second thing is failure perspective, and I don't see a lot of people talk about this actually, but it's super underrated. The way you look at fails is super important, because whenever I had a bad fail, I would, rather than look at it like, oh my god, I'm never getting back, like I can never beat this tower, I will look at it like, that is great progress. I can't believe I just got there, which made a huge difference because I was able to enjoy grinding the towers that I was playing, and I was able to actually like get better, and I think that's really good tip. So do with that what you will, but I think it was super important to mention. Now the third thing is reducing the urge of anger, which, wow, it is difficult. It is really difficult, but the more mad you get at the tower, the harder it will be. It's gonna feel really annoying to play, so you're not gonna enjoy playing it. Like, I know it's difficult, I know it's hard to just not get angry, and it's okay to get angry every once in a while, you know, that's a normal human emotion, but reducing that urge can make a crazy difference, and that's kind of like the failure perspective as well. Just try to go with it. Just, you have a good run, you have a bad run, just keep going, you know? Next tip, play consistently, but don't burn yourself out. It's obvious. They're really tough, and they're gonna get difficult. And playing consistently will help you build consistency. And I know I said taking breaks was important, because it is, but that's more like after a huge reaction. I'd say play, if you're trying to grind a tower, I'd say play every day if you can, and it doesn't have to be the entire day, just maybe like an hour or so, but just don't burn yourself out, because then you're gonna play worse. This next one, it might sound corny and you've definitely heard it before, but don't give up. And this is important because Usually when people do one run on a tower, they'll get to like say floor 5 or something like that, and then they fall to 1 and then they just give up. Like, don't give up, like, keep going. And especially on soul crushing towers, because these kinds of towers require, like I said in the intro, they require a lot of endurance and patience, and you're going to have to use time to beat these. And giving up will just make it worse, because why were you even playing it in the first place if you just give up? Like, just don't do that. Keep going until you physically... Okay, well, I was about to say keep going until you physically can't, but just go until you feel like that's a good stopping point, I was hoping to add a little bit more to this category, but I feel like these kind of do good for what it is. So let's move on to category 2. So category 2. I actually recorded the rest of this video the next day, so if I sound slightly different, that's why. But for this category I'm going to talk about, I took 6 different towers that are all good to do before soul crushing. And now you might have to bear with me because half of them are citadels, but citadels are really good because they can help you build like endurance and having more skill with longer towers. So the easiest one on the list I chose was Tower of Rhythm Heaven. Now this tower I actually did before soul crushing, and it's really good. It's not just a higher end remorseless, it's actually like a good tower, like, because it can help you with punishment and more modern gameplay, which is really good, so I would recommend that one. The next one is Tower of Minus Facility. This tower, it's also really good for punishment, but in like nerve control, so I would recommend it. It's also just a good tower as well, so I would recommend that one as well. The third one is Citadel of Increasing Claustrophobia. This citadel is really fun, actually. Like, it's pretty long, but it's really good before soul crushing, so I would recommend that one. This next one is actually a really good one before soul crushing, and that's Citadel of Peril, because it can help you with more fast-paced gameplay, but also nerve control, because most times if you fall, you're like dead, so I would recommend playing that one. It's really good too. I actually liked it. This next one is Citadel of Wacky Strategy. Now this tower isn't really punishing, it's just long. So this one can help you with endurance a lot, and well, nerve control as well, even if it's not the most punishing tower, but yeah. Now this next one might seem like pretty boring, but then that's Tower of Tornado Vehemence. Now, although it can get boring because it's pretty long and the gameplay is like somewhat the same, like, it's still really good, even though it's like, I feel like it's not really peak remorseless, but it can help you with like building to the soul crushing difficulty, so I would also recommend that one. Don't feel restricted to these towers, you can do whatever remorseless you like if you have the area unlocked, but these are just some of the good choices that I picked out. So yeah, let's move on to category 3. Moving on to category 3. For this one, I'm going to be talking about the common first soul crushing tower choices. Now, I took 6 towers that people usually pick as their first SCs, so I'm just gonna give my thoughts and tell you guys if I think that is a good tower to do as your first soul crushing. Number 1. Tower of Double Trouble, probably the most common one. This tower is more on the endurance side because it is pretty long and Seaside has a lot of loot failing to it. So if you're good with endurance based towers and you're just patient, I would recommend this one, as The gameplay is also pretty fun, but A side can get pretty annoying. The next one is tower difficulty chart. I don't really think it's a great tower, but it's pretty good as a first soul crushing. It's not the best, but it does get you used to difficulty spikes, hence the name tower difficulty chart. And also just the final floors being like the hardest out of all of them, so I would recommend practicing those floors as well. I don't really have a crazy input on TODC, but yeah. Next one is Thanos Tower, and this tower is usually the first soul crushing many players come across, and it's actually a pretty good tower, but the first half sucks pretty badly. But the second half is actually really fun. I do like the second half. But it's also pretty punishing because there are soft locks and stuff like that. So make sure you're pretty good with punishment if you're going with this one. Or going for this one. The next one is Tower of Bent Trauma. The gameplay is not for everyone, and I don't really like the gameplay as well. The tower isn't bad itself, but I'm just not a big fan of the gameplay. It's still a pretty good tower, but if you want to go for it, that's not a bad choice. Just make sure to practice the final stretch because that is definitely one of the harder parts of the tower. The next one is Tower of Mind Breaking. Now, I don't really see a lot of people do this as a first soul crushing. It's actually a really fun tower. I really enjoyed Tower of Mind Breaking. I'm not sure how good it is to go for as a first soul crushing. You could try it out, but if you are, that's perfectly fine because this tower is actually pretty good. Now the next one, this probably is, I don't know about the best choice, but I enjoyed it because I did this one as a first soul crushing. That's Tower of Inevitable Failure. This tower is actually really good to do as a first soul crushing because it gives a pretty big skill boost in purism and trust gameplay. So if you like this kind of purism, I would recommend going for that. And it's also pretty fun too. I do like it. Overall, I think the tower is actually really fun. So the two best choices would probably be Tower of Double Trouble or Tower of Inevitable Failure, in my opinion at least. But again, like I said with the what to do before soul crushing category, don't feel restricted to have to do these towers. There are a lot of other insane towers in the game, and you can definitely go for a higher end one if you want to, if you find that tower fun and you're good at it. So, but these are just kind of the most common for soul crushing choices. So, but yeah, I think that wraps up category 3. So with that, I think that concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed and found this information helpful. I went for a little bit more of a different editing style in this video, so let me know if you guys do like that. It'll probably carry into some of my other videos. I'm not sure about the etoh SC reviews though. Those will probably stay like that, but I'll kind of use this style for other videos. So yeah, again, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.